everybody. I did my best to wear the color of today's chakra, the Muladhara Chakra, which is red. Unfortunately, I don't own red leggings, but this is as close as I come. So I think we're pretty good in the Muladhara Chakra energy. And this really is officially kicking off week 1 of a 7-week series where we're going to explore all of the chakras, starting at the base or the root chakra and going all the way up to the 7 or the crown chakra. So this is a really exciting journey. I've never taught a full series on the chakras before. So this is as much fun for me, I think, as hopefully it will be for you. And we're going to start, as we're going to start every class in this sequence, in a seated meditation position, whatever that looks like for you. So you want to be comfortable. We're going to be here a few minutes. You can see I bring in the support of a block. If there's a different support that works for you, please bring that in. And just start to kind of drop into a comfortable physical position, making any adjustments so that you can be comfortable here. Maybe closing the eyes if they aren't already. And as you close the eyes, which are kind of the doorway to seeing, allow that to actually open up your ears a little bit more to just receive this kind of foundational grounding information for this practice. So chakras are really these energy centers that are in the subtle body. And we know about them from a number of spiritual traditions from Eastern belief systems. They're located along the spine, and they run from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And in Sanskrit, the word chakra means wheel or cycle. So there's this feeling of movement, of the cyclical nature of the chakras. And the concept of the chakras really originated in ancient India. So appreciating and gratitude for that tradition. It's associated with the Hindu and Buddhist traditions, but it's also been adopted by some Western medicine practitioners. So there's this real cross-cultural marriage as we start to understand the chakras. The first of the 7 main chakras is the Muladhara or root chakra. And the Muladhara Chakra is located at the perineum and radiates down towards the knees, down the legs, into the root system of the feet. The root chakra is associated with the earth element, the color red, and the qualities of security, stability, and grounding. And so as we move through this practice, we are going to be cultivating those senses of security, stability, and grounding by balancing and exploring this Muladhara Chakra. Taking a few more breaths here, maybe even visualizing the color red right at the base of your spine near the perineum, feeling energy radiating from the perineum down through the legs, the knees, the lower legs, and into the feet. Almost as if the energy of your body was creating a root system that was integrating you down and into the earth. As you breathe in, thinking, I am safe and secure. As you breathe out, I am grounded and centered. Take 2 more breaths like that. Breathing in, I am safe and secure. And breathing out, I am grounded and centered. Once more, inhaling, I am safe and secure. Exhaling, I am grounded and centered. And taking those affirmations with you as you begin to reorient yourself to your external surroundings, blinking open the eyes, we will eventually all meet in an all fours position as we prepare to move into the asana portion of our practice. We're going to start with some cats and cows, but we're going to take a slightly different variation with the hands. So we're going to take the weight of the body slightly into the left palm as we lift the right hand and flip so that we're actually on the top of the right hand. And my left wrist is in line with the top of my right wrist. Tuck all 10 toes and just gently kind of push the toes, the base of the toes down into the mat. So there's this feeling of pushing down through the legs. And then start to roll through your cat and cow, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. And then rounding up through the spine, chin to chest. And we'll just take about 3 to 5 more rounds of this cat and cow, depending on the pace that you're going. See if you can have equal distribution of weight through the left and the right hands. Feeling the difference of the stretches on the left wrist versus the right because of the orientation of the hands. Also feeling a mild stretch at the base of all 10 toes down through the soles of the feet. And the next time you pass through center, pause for a moment in that neutral spine. Lift your right hand and just roll that right wrist a couple of times. There's a little bit more of an emphasis on the hands and the feet today, which is kind of the parts of the body where we really anchor down. Plant the right palm, flip onto the top of the left. Make sure you have that alignment of the wrists. Toes are still tucked, and start to roll through your cat and cow. So at various points in this practice, we'll be paying attention to the parts of the body that are rooting down into the earth, again, cultivating that sense of stability and grounding and security through every asana that we practice. Taking about 2 more rounds, really noticing that distinction between how this is feeling in the right wrist versus the left. That mild stretch through the toes and the soles of the feet. And then finding a neutral spine, and again, lifting your left hand, just a few rolls of that left wrist. And then, believe it or not, you're exactly where you need to be, and we are going to move into toe stretch, everybody's favorite, walking the hands back to the knees, dropping your pelvis onto the heels, keeping all 10 toes tucked. Now, this can be a really delicate stretch for folks. So some of you may like to keep part of the body weight forward. If you're comfortable, you can start to walk up onto the thighs, maybe even stacking shoulders over hips here. Final option would be to take steeple mudra, taking the arms overhead, pointer finger reaching up towards the ceiling, thumbs crossed, maybe dropping the chin towards the collarbones as you find that chin lock. Taking about 3 more deep breaths here. You're exactly where you need to be. You're safe and secure. You're grounded and centered. 1 more breath in. You're going to transition into a yogi squat, releasing the arms wherever they may be, shifting the weight. Now, I need to widen my feet for my yogi squat. You may need to do the same. So I'm widening my feet and then shifting back, dropping my tailbone towards the earth. Another asana that's really a great opportunity, finding the elbows and the inner knees, palms come together. We'll take about 3 to 4 breaths here. Another asana that gives us this great opportunity to feel that energy, again, remembering the Muladhara Chakra is right at the perineum, so between the sexual organs there and the anus. And so this is a pose where the root chakra is actually dropping towards the earth. This is an incredibly balancing pose for that Muladhara Chakra. 1 more breath in here. We'll come into a dangling pose as the hands come down, lift the seat, and then find a forward fold that feels good to you. So I know some teachers will say, bring your feet, big toes touching. That may not feel right in your body, so I'm fine if you want a different width with your legs here. And then let some movement happen. So maybe you're swaying from side to side. Maybe you're bending and straightening the knees, doing a kind of a little heel press. Maybe you're doing a little elephant trunk sway. This is kind of more of a improv moment in the practice where it's just about you getting to know your body, feeling what feels good, what allows you to have deeper access to the body.
And then taking a moment, we're going to move into monkey pose as we slide the palms underneath the soles of the feet so that my toes are up near the wrist creases. And this is not about the hamstrings, contrary to how it might feel in your body. So if you need to really deeply bend the knees here to get the feet underneath, or the hands rather, underneath the feet, do that. Because this is really about that contact of the feet against the hands, that sense of grounding, that sense of stability, that sense of that root system underneath the soles of your feet, and that interplay with the palms of your hands. Let the back of the neck hang heavy. 2 more breaths. This is the last pose in our warm-up sequence before we start to move into Surya Namaskaram, sun salutations. As you inhale, lift the feet, release the hands, noticing any sensations. I'm feeling a little tingling as the blood comes back into my hands and fingertips. And we're going to start our first Surya Namaskaram A from the back of the mat. So bring your fingertips to your shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Circle sweep the arms, rise up to your first mountain pose, rooting down to rise up. Hands into heart center. We're going to do 3 Surya Namaskaram A. Sweep those arms out and up. Exhale, swan diving to fold forward over the legs. Because we're at the back of the mat, we'll walk the hands forward into our downward facing dog. And then we'll keep moving forward into our very first plank pose. Taking a breath in your plank. Exhale your vinyasa. So I'm going to take a chaturanga, but if there's a different vinyasa pattern calling out to you, please feel free to take that. Back bend of choice on your inhale. Downward facing dog. We'll take 3 grounding breaths here. As you come into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, take a moment to again connect with the parts of your body that are touching your mat. Imagine a root system growing out of those 4 points of contact through your mat, through the floor, through the earth. Anchoring you in this sense of groundedness, this quality of stability. As you inhale, look to the front of your mat, decide how you want to travel, and then bring your feet to the back of your wrists. Inhale, take that half lift. Exhale, folding. Rooting yourself in the present moment as you ground through your feet to rise up through your spine. Hands into heart center. 2 more Surya A, arms sweeping up. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhaling, you're safe, you're secure. Exhale, back to your plank. Chaturanga or vinyasa of choice. Inhaling, back bend. Exhaling, down dog. 3 breaths. Trusting more, fearing less. When that Muladhara Chakra is blocked or out of balance, it can really cultivate a lot of fear that can get really blocked there. So this idea of trusting more, fearing less can be a really powerful affirmation as we work to balance and open up the Muladhara root chakra. Inhale, look to the front of the mat, walk, step, or hop the feet. Inhale to that half lift, finding your peace. Exhale, folding forward. Rooting into the present moment as you rise to Tadasana. Exhaling, hands to heart center. 1 more Surya Namaskaram A. Beautiful. Inhaling forward and up. Folding over the legs. Inhaling, safe and secure. Feeling that breath calming you. Stepping back, plank. Grounded and centered as you move through that vinyasa. Back bend. That Muladhara Chakra lifting you up and back into that down dog, and then feeling that energy radiating from the perineum down the legs, into the feet, through the palms of the hands, that sense of rootedness. 1 more breath in. 1 more complete breath out. Looking to the front of the mat, walking, stepping, or hopping. Half lift. Exhale. You're exactly where you need to be. Mountain pose Tadasana. Hands to heart center. 2 C salutations are lunge salutations. Release the arms, stand tall.
Exhale, hands into prayer position 1. Inhaling, forward up, little back bend option at the top, 2. Folding over the legs is 3. Leading with that left foot to the back of the mat, drop your left knee. We're going to take 3 breaths in this Anjaneyasana lunge. Hand option of your choice, whatever feels good. What we want to remember here, again, think about where the root chakra is located, base of the spine, and it radiates through the femur bones. So we've got that left femur moving back, right femur moving forward. Feel that energy in your lunge moving forward and back, and then that root chakra grounding you and stabilizing you through the pelvis. Beautiful. Take one more breath in, and then keep it flowing. Step it back, position 5, downward facing dog. Moving through Vinyasa, 6. Back bend is 7. Down dog is 8. Looking forward, left foot will come forward, right knee will drop down, hand variation of your choice. I'm safe and secure. I'm grounded and centered. I feel that energy of security, stability, sufficiency radiating through my body. One more in-breath. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot forward. Sweeping arms forward, up and back, that's position 11. Hands to heart center, 12. Last Surya Namaskaram, release the arms, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Feeling that energy at the base of the spine, forward, up and back. Folding over the legs. Right foot will lead. Maybe you keep the knee lifted, connecting to that lunge energy in a slightly different way. Still that energy grounded at the base of the spine, radiating through the legs, through the thighs. Breath in. Keep it flowing. Step it back. Position 5, down dog. Moving forward through plank. Vinyasa. Back bend of choice. Down dog. Right foot looking forward. Step it forward. Either low or high lunge, you decide. Arm variation of your choice. So lots of choice in this practice as you connect with that stable, grounded energy. One more breath in. Exhale, breath out. Left foot meets the right. Forward, up and back. Hands to heart center. Releasing the arms, closing the eyes, taking a moment for a brief little micro meditation. The root chakra is our connection to stability, to grounding, to a sense of survival. It works to establish us upon the earth. It's the chakra that holds us in our bodies. It's a very earthy, primal chakra. Blinking open your eyes, moving into our standing sequence. We're going to start with tree pose, which has this beautiful imagery of the root system. So left leg is going to be the standing leg first as you start to bring your right leg up into your tree pose. Any level of the balancing tree pose is great. Getting the legs in place. And then I'm going to invite you to really feel, I'm kind of pivoting so you can see this. I want you to press the sole of the right foot up and into the left inner thigh and feel your left inner thigh pressing right back up against the sole of the right foot. So there's this marriage between the foot and the inner leg. Now take all that energy and radiate it down your left leg into your left foot. And then up through your arms, whatever arm variation you want. You could take steeple mudra again. You could do goal posts. You could have them wide. You could have them down here. But energy through the arms. Good. Breathing. 3, 2. Give yourself one more inhale, and then as you exhale, drop into chair pose, Utkatasana. So right knee forward, bend the knees, and drop and sit into Utkatasana chair pose. This is a great pose for this Muladhara Chakra because what are you aware of? You're aware of your thighs. So all that energy from that root chakra is boom, radiating down those thighs. And we're gonna move right into praying mantis pose. So drop your torso forward, belly onto the thighs. Shift your weight to the left foot, and then start to extend your right foot back until your right knee fully straightens. Right toes are still on the mat. Now, once you energize your upper back, bring your shoulder blades together, keep that energy, and float your right leg up, 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 as high as you can take it. Praying mantis pose for 2. One more inhale. You're gonna go back and up into warrior 1. Right foot to the back of the mat. Lift it up, warrior 1. Sit down. This should be a super stabilizing pose after that praying mantis. Should feel nice to have 2 feet down on the mat. Now, as you breathe here, again, that energy of the thighs, the root chakra right here at the perineum, pull that left thigh back. Spin that right inner thigh up towards the ceiling as the right hip melts forward. Breathe in. Now we're going to open up to Prasarita Padottanasana to turn to face the long edge of our mat. Turn the feet parallel, hands to the waist. Inhale, lift up, open the heart. Listen carefully, you're only hinging halfway to a tabletop. Pause here for a moment. Keep your tabletop spine. Lift your elbows towards the ceiling. Feel energy moving from the base of your spine down your thighs. Taking this into a high skater, bend your right knee. Take your right forearm and rest it on the top of your right thigh. Extend your left arm out like an airplane wing with your left palm facing down towards your mat. Breathe for 2. Feel the strength in your legs, that earthy, strong, stable quality in your body. Bring your left fingertips down to the floor right in front of your line of sight, and then sweep your right arm up towards the ceiling. Twist your torso to the right. Let your left inner thigh drop towards the mat and get that glorious inner thigh stretch. One more in-breath here. And then walk to the front of your mat and take a low lunge. Drop the right knee, sweep the arms up. That should feel nice. And then flow all that out. Palms down. Move through a vinyasa that just feels yummy, delicious, and grounding to you. We'll all meet in that down dog and take 3 breaths. As we start to dispel the fear that can really get clogged up in the Muladhara Chakra, we start to open ourselves up to trusting that the universe has got us, that the universe is going to take care of us. We start to trust the wisdom of our own bodies, the capability of our own bodies. Look to the front of the mat, walk, step, or hop your feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Drop in. Rooting down into the present moment as you rise up to mountain pose. Start that sequence second side, standing on the right leg, lifting up into your tree pose. And then, just as I said on that last side, we want this synergy, this marriage happening, this kind of melding between the left foot and the right inner thigh. And when that happens, I feel my glutes engage a little bit and everything feels more stable. It's suddenly what could feel kind of loosey-goosey that I could fall out of suddenly becomes this really strong unit. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. See if I can pivot. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, sit down into your chair pose, Utkatasana. And then connect with that Muladhara energy. It's originating at the base of your spine, and then it's just radiating down the strength of your legs. Palms together, praying mantis pose. Drop the torso down. Shift the weight to the right foot, and just slide that left foot back, toes still on the mat. Power up your upper back. Keep that energy in the upper back as you start to fly the left leg up. 3, 2, I don't know about you all, I'm shaky, shaky, shaky. Warrior 1, left foot down, rise up. And this warrior 1 is feeling so nice. Like I'm really appreciating that sense of security that's coming after that praying mantis pose. I'm dialing that right thigh bone. My femur's just like plugging right in. That left inner thigh is just reaching up towards the sky. And then turning to face the long edge of my mat, hands to my waist. Inhale, lean back, lift the heart. Moving to that flat tabletop. Pause. Breathe. 2. Think of pulling energy from your kneecaps up towards your root chakra. Good. Start to bend your left knee. High skater. Left forearm rests on the top of the left thigh. Right arm reaches out like a half airplane wing. Palm faces down. And I'm just trusting this incredible, sufficient body of mine to hold me here. This incredibly stable, muscular, skeletal system that I've got. Right hand right down on the floor in front of me. Left arm to the ceiling. Pivot my torso to the left, and then just let my right inner thigh melt towards the mat. Yes. It should feel just delicious. And then walk your hands to the front of the mat. Drop your left knee. Low lunge. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, flow it out. Vinyasa. Excellent. When we balance the Muladhara Chakra, we really create this sense of stability, security, sufficiency. There's this sense of enoughness that's really vital to our overall sense of well-being. Couple more breaths here in downward facing dog. Keep spinning those inner thighs up and back. We're going to move through that standing sequence one more time, just movement to breath, so it's going to move much more quickly this time. Looking to the front of the mat, walking, stepping, or a light hop. Half lift, fold in. Rooting into the present moment as you rise to the mountain. Left foot is the standing foot as you come up into your tree pose. Full breath in and out, Vrikshasana tree. Exhale, drop it down, Utkatasana chair pose. Hands to prayer, drop the torso. Shift the weight to the left, right leg back, praying mantis, fly the leg. Step it back, warrior one. Prasarita Padottanasana, facing the long edge, finding that tabletop spine. High skater, bend the right knee, forearm to thigh, left arm to airplane. Twisting, left hand down, right arm to ceiling, left inner thigh drops. Walk to the front of the mat, Anjaneyasana, breath in. Flow it out. Trusting more, fearing less. One breath between sides. Full breath in and out in this down dog. Inhale to the front of the mat. Exhale to fold. Rooting through the feet, up to mountain. Tree pose, left side. Breath in. Sit it down, Utkatasana chair. Hands to heart, drop the torso, shift the weight to the right foot, start to build your praying mantis. Step it back, warrior one. Prasarita, long edge of the mat, hinge forward, tabletop. Left knee bends, left forearm to left thigh, right arm out like an airplane wing. Right hand to mat, left hand to ceiling, twist. Walking to the front of your space, Anjaneyasana, low lunge, arms up in breath. Out breath, Vinyasa, flow it out. Meeting in that downward facing dog.
An interesting little fact. We know that the color for the Muladhara Chakra is red. And interestingly, the primary gemstone that's associated with the Muladhara Chakra is the garnet. And I found this interesting because I'm a Capricorn, which is the strongest of the earth signs astrologically. And the Muladhara Chakra is all about this earth grounding energy. And the birthstone for Capricorns is the garnet. So it's all interconnected, these different systems. We're going to come through onto our back, setting up for bridge pose. So looking to the center of your mat, you could hop or take a little jump through to your spine, bending your knees, bringing your heels in close to your glutes. And we'll take a traditional Setubandha Sarvangasana bridge pose to begin. So palms down alongside the body, taking a full breath in. And as you exhale, rooting down through the feet to start to roll up through the spine. And then any arm variation. So if you want to interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders onto the back, that's an option. If you want to hold onto the outer edges of the mat, sometimes I like that one. It's like a gentle way to get a little bit of traction. Or if you just want a softer version of your bridge. No wrong answers. It's just what is the right version of the pose for you right now. One more breath in. And then if you have a bind, release it as you start to roll one vertebra at a time back onto the mat. Take a moment to move into constructive rest by tenting the inner knees together, widening the feet, the width of the mat. And just listening for a couple of breaths. So one option would be to repeat your bridge pose, either a different variation of it or the one you just did. The other option is I'm going to teach Chatushpadasana, which is the four-footed pose. This is a pose that, again, really embodies that sense of grounding and stability, particularly through the legs, the upper thighs. So I'm going to be cueing Chatushpadasana. Otherwise, you're doing your own version of bridge. If you're coming with me, separating the inner knees, and again, bringing the feet approximately hip distance apart, and really tucking the heels in as closely towards the glutes as you can get them. For Chatushpadasana, we want to clasp hold of the front of the ankles, right where kind of the ankles and the shin bones meet. And then I start to roll my shoulders onto my back. And it's like flipping the body open. As you lift your chest and your torso, collarbone really lifts up towards my chin. Sternum is lifting. And then my inner thighs rolling down towards the floor as my knees press forward for 2. One more full breath in. And then releasing the hold on the ankles, maybe popping up onto the balls of the feet as you unroll out of Chatushpadasana. And now is this beautiful opportunity to invite the knees into the chest, rocking and rolling from side to side, maybe even Pavanamuktasana, wind relieving pose, wrapping the arms around the knees, giving it a nice squeeze, a little spinal massage. We'll start to sit up for the forward bending portion of our practice as we rock and roll along the spine to sit up. And we're going to prepare to come into staff pose, Dandasana, extending the legs forward, feet flexed, moving any extra flesh out of the way. Another really classic position to feel that connection with the root chakra against the earth. Inner thighs are moving down and in. So sometimes I even take and kind of spin my inner thighs down. Good. And then planting the palms alongside you, really feeling the palms pushing down. And just taking 3 breaths here, maybe returning to that opening affirmation, breathing in, I am safe and secure. Breathing out, I am grounded and centered. Rooting in this present moment. Grounding in the root chakra. Finding your peace as you trust
that the earth and the universe are supporting you. Janu Shirshasana, inviting that right knee up and in towards the chest, and then opening that right knee out, very much like that tree pose that we did in our standing sequence, feeling that connection between the foot and the inner thigh, feeling that energy radiating down through the thighs, reaching the arms out and up, and then folding forward. The Muladhara Chakra is really associated with this sense of safety, which often translates to safety in relationships. It's this feeling of belonging, of being held, that we often feel when we are able to feel totally trustworthy. That trusting more and fearing less. Reaching out through the fingertips, floating up. We're going to briefly come into Baddha Konasana. I'm going to face you so you can see this as I bring the soles of my feet together. And then again, thinking that the Muladhara Chakra is at the perineum. So I'm going to grab kind of the pinky side edge of my feet. And I'm going to come into a little hovering balance here. I'm going to pull my heels towards my root chakra, and then I'm simultaneously going to send energy through my thighs to try to open that butterfly leg. So I'm pulling my heels towards my perineum and then extending energy through my thighs. Yeah, you feel that? Lift your sternum, take one more in-breath. And then we're just going to switch to Janu Shirshasana on the second side. So lower the feet, keep your left knee in as you extend the right leg forward. Find that connection again, just like you did on the other side. Feel that energy moving through the thighs, arms reach up, in breath. Exhale, fold forward. Feeling this sense of provision from the mat and the earth underneath you. You know, the earth is providing this safe landing place for you right now. The universe is holding you. You are very literally safe and secure. You are very literally grounded and centered. Not just in an abstract way, but in an absolute way. And then reaching up through the fingertips, coming up one more time, that Baddha Konasana balance, bringing the soles of the feet together, holding onto that pinky side edge, lifting up and hovering, bringing the heels towards the perineum as you spread and open through the thighs. Almost like you're a lotus flower that's kind of blooming from its source. Yes, beautiful. One more breath in. And then lowering down. Take a moment, close the legs, wrap the arms, and just give yourself a nice hug. Let the lower back round the spine. Get this nice kind of rounded extension. The chin, the head can drop in between the knees. I'm just keeping mine lifted so my voice stays clear. And then we'll start to roll down onto our spine. Knees into the chest. Final asanas of the practice. Very gentle spinal twist as we let the knees fall over to the right. Letting that left arm come behind us in a cactus shape. 2 complete breaths here. Feeling the back of the body supported and held by the floor underneath you. As you breathe in, engaging the core just enough to bring the legs through center, and then the knees fall over to the left. That right arm opens out in that cactus position. I don't know about you all, sometimes I do these twists and it almost takes my breath away. It's like, oh, I needed that so much. Knees come in. And start to move into your Shavasana, extending the legs and the arms. Making any adjustments to the body that you need to make in order to move into a couple of moments of quiet, restfulness, trusting more, fearing less. Breathing in, I am safe and secure. Breathing out, I am grounded and centered. I am safe and secure. I am grounded and centered. Safe, secure. Grounded, centered. The root chakra is our connection to stability, grounding, and survival. It works to establish us upon the earth, and it holds us in our bodies. Without moving, allow your breath to naturally deepen and become more full. And as the breath deepens, begin to slowly reawaken your body in whatever way feels most natural to you. Until eventually, in your own way and in your own time, you begin to make your way back up to a comfortable seat, where we will close with a pranayama practice. We'll be closing with nadi shuddhi, or alternate nostril breathing. So if that's a practice that you're familiar with, you are more than welcome to begin on your own time. If you need a little bit more instruction, I would invite you to make a soft fist with your right hand and release the thumb and the ring and pinky finger and draw the hand towards the face. And then take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril with your thumb and slowly exhale out your left. Then inhale through your left. Close off your left nostril with the ring and pinky finger. Release your thumb and exhale out the right. Inhale right. And switch. And continue this pattern of exhale, inhale, switch at your own pace. Nadi shuddhi is a pranayama practice that is particularly supportive of the Muladhara Chakra because of how centered and balancing this practice is. It's a very stabilizing pranayama, making it very compatible with any practices that are cultivating balance or awareness of the root chakra. And then without any rushing whatsoever, the next time you exhale out your left nostril, that will complete a cycle. So you can release the hand back to the lap or the knees and simply return to your normal breath. And we'll close the practice as we always do by inviting the palms of the hands together, this symbol of the body and the mind coming together in the practice. We ask that the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light, which sounds like these 4 words in Sanskrit. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Victory to all of our practices. Jai.